I was saying before too, because the sides were wrong and I was just reading the lobby UI. Auction's actually on attack to start this map out, so just in case anybody got confused by that.
Flying.
No flying!
I can't cast without no flying.
Just make one on our own. Bum, 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 bum. This is now an improv show.
You have amazing vocals.
What? What?
No, I was
sorry. That was like really unprompted. I was like, I really got thrown off by that.
It's completely lying.
Just a wild compliment out of the.
Oh man, that was like an Eric Andre show skit right there. That's ridiculous. Ying and Habana both banned out. Valkyrie will be banned out as well. I still can't believe they didn't do the fly-in. I'm still mad about that. Last defensive ban will be coming through. All of this making so much sense when it comes to Clubhouse. The Habana one especially. I'm surprised that we don't see her more often when it comes to this tournament here. We've seen her for quite some time when it came to Club for quite a few months there, but not right now.
Mira going to be our final defender ban as we wrap these up. No real huge surprises when it comes to the overall ban scope here, though. Ying, once again, is the only one that really stands out for me, is like, maybe they could have gone with something else, but the choice is still perfectly fine, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with you. It's a positive thing either way, only just what you want to deal with. Valkyrie and the Mira both going to be removed here, so Oxygen won't have to deal with nearly as much cam work and nearly as many of those mirrors placed around. Seriously a nuisance, especially when it comes to the site that the Wolves went to, so already a positive boon for Oxygen. That Wolves ended up removing that from play. So we'll see how the Wolves want to try and build this up. They are going to have the castle barricade, so usually a telltale sign of a roam game. We're going to have the mute in as well. So how do Wolves want to set us up for round one?
We'll be finding out here. Castle Barricade's going to try to split things up when it comes to the downstairs clearance, hopefully leaving Oxygen with too little of an amount of time to properly get rid of those. They do have the sledge, so as long as he's in play, and more importantly, in a proper position to actually counter those back up, shouldn't really be much of an interruption. The one going down there on the main stairs wall as well, just a little bit of an insurance policy for the early roam that Wolves are more than likely to deploy towards. Allows whoever is going to be upstairs, if there is going to be anyone upstairs, just to rotate a bit more aggressively back down into the basement. It seems like that's the whole extent of these castle barricades for the most part. All three of them going around this bar area to block off bathroom, as well as the window rotation. This actually, all four of them, to correct myself too. Thought they'd save that bottom one for at least one panel downstairs, but it's not going to end up being the case. So full roam setup completed there on the bar to give Wolves a little bit of a bunker to deploy towards. Have to keep the sledge away from it, but otherwise, we'll see now as Nuors might just skip the process of this clear. Look, he's in! Nuors already knocking out Bibu, has been able to push himself forward, has literally the entirety of the arsenal under his control. Now there is another player towards Dirt that he's going to have to watch his back for in just a moment. This is not a done deal by any means just yet. An incredibly advanced play, which could still go poorly for him and the rest of OXG if he doesn't contain it. P4 has been found out on a church rotate. Mowgli, though, I believe getting the drop now against Nuors, but now the rest of the team is here as well. And the defense on site still very weak for the Wolves. Believe they droned out Shinka, and indeed, they're going to have him now when he finally comes back out from his Dirt defense position. Rise is all that's left. Oxygen, some good intel spottage and a nice heads-up play from Nuors to open up this site for themselves. While it didn't necessarily immediately guarantee the site take, it has brought it down to this 4v1. Now they have the plant going down for Dream over in Church 2. Rise, no counter to this, as he'll just have to force himself on the rotate over through Moto, where he'll also already have a cross-established. Sweater ends the round for Oxygen.
Oxygen forced the roam game to come to them, pierce their way into sight. No real answer for the Wolves as Oxygen easily get that plant down after some serious contributions from Nuors on the entry game, backed up by the remaining members of OXG. A flawless first round from the offense. Round two now. We're going to head back down to the basement. We are. Wolves feel like doubling down, but probably not going to be the same strategy at all. We'd really like to see what they're going to do with this. We are still going to have the castle barricades in here, so, I mean, there is potential, but Oxygen dealing with that fairly straightforward and in a very, very easy manner once they were able to get those picks. So, might be going back to the same well, but I highly doubt that if Wolves end up going for the same strategy. Oxygen more than likely try and solve things through a different means rather than trying to force themselves in through blue like they did the last time just to try and throw the Wolves off a tad bit.
10 seconds to insertion. Camera ready to activate. 5 seconds to insertion. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse
Well,
it.
Oxygen on the board yet again. Just a single hard breach composition to make things work on this round. The Wolves as well, doubling down on their hold in the basement in hopes that it will work out. Just putting some duct tape over that hole that Newers was able to abuse in the previous round and hope that things will work out a bit more successfully this time. We will see. That is going to be the winning strategy here. Newers, a bit unfortunate as he walks his way into the building, as he will now unfortunately become a victim of that double castle barricade. Great Overwatch, too, for just the overall setup here for P4. I'm actually really liking this roam setup he's committed himself to, especially with the motion detector going down in kitchen. He's pretty much got full coverage to any entry angle that would be used against him, so that's actually a pretty powerful position he's played to there. Does do it alone, though, is the big issue, so once you get more than one player from Oxygen potentially trying to fish him out, can't really sustain it. He's forced back downstairs relatively quickly, and Oxygen begin to split up this defense here, trapping Mowgli, and I believe one other member of the Wolves on the second floor. Indeed, it's going to be Rise playing along with them. Rise was the unexpected one, though. He gets away with a pick against Newers. Nade goes out from Mowgli. He is not going to be able to immediately down a member of the opposing team, but Fox as well grabs the kill against Mowgli. Sweater also killed in the process of this fight, though, still leaves Oxygen one player behind.
All quiet across Clubhouse now after these interactions. Big deaths for Oxygen. Newers and the Sweater tending to be the aggressors for OXG. But we saw just how potent Vertical can be that last map. Always been an amazing player, high caliber at the end of the day. And a fantastic player for Oxygen throughout the years. Going to continue to hold the flank route here on main stairs, just in case any of the Wolves members do end up rotating back down. But so far, so good on this strategy. The clear from Oxygen not as potent as their direct attack from round one.
So far, just down one player here. Mowgli
Drone ready.
is going to be the only one knocked out so far from the defense. Good news is Oxygen, of course, starting all of this aggression quite early, so they still have a tiny amount of excess time, but in reality, it's not a whole lot here. Rise continuing to maintain the 2F position is going to cause some serious issues for the potential of Oxygen actually getting into the site time. Only just now equalizing things with the pick against Rise. Finally dealing with the upstairs roam, but at the same time, only just now being able to focus on the actual site take with just 30 seconds to go. This is going to be rough from Oxygen, and it's going to be pretty much entirely reliant on their gun skill to make this happen.
Element sequence activated.
Nitro cell,
A bomb
not going to land. Most of Oxygen, all of Oxygen, inside a kitchen. Dream going to adopt the angles quickly to try and get some access into the actual site. P4 will go down to Fox, and they found a spot to put this plant down. Nitro cell, but it has to be covered. Oh, what a shot from Fox, a triple for him. B-Boost locked down.
They get it.
Oxygen with a cleanup. Round not looking like theirs at all, but they pull it back across the line in the basement.
And so Oxygen keep hold of a double take on the basement site. Wolves try to go for one. Get beaten out by Noor, sneaking directly into the site. They try to deploy themselves to a hyper-extended roam on the second attempt, and to be fair, the roam works as well. Establishes so much delay. Oxygen don't even set foot into the basement, let alone take a real good look at it, until about 25 seconds remain on the clock, and they're still able to make the execute work. Not a great sign for the Wolves. They've already lasted this long here. We're still going to be looking for a solid rebound from them as things continue to evolve now, moving on to their third, or rather second site choice, but third round up here inside of Gym. The basement's just not working. They can't justify going for a third attempt in a row on it.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Well, after those two failed rounds, failure to launch out of Wolves, Oxygen will now begin their assault onto the master side of things. Frost will work its way in. See how that works out for the Wolves and trying to slow up this assault. The gunplay hasn't been there for Wolves. They were able to get it done early on in that last round, but then Oxygen, bullheadish when it came to their kitchen offense, and Wolves trying to adhere to the call, but Oxygen able to dust them in every single bout that they had. Now it's led to this. 2 quick rounds for OXG. Wolves gonna try and get a round over on them finally on this top floor defense.
Building new mag.
Oxygen starting to add a few angles to their arsenal here. But don't get me wrong, a lot more work still needing to be done. Jacuzzi's up next here for them to try and pop this one open. Thatcher in place, which should be an easy counter to the electrification on the wall deployed by Mowgli. Had the Rotero drone, I think, going on the other side, just in case that we had a bandit trying to actively play against that one. Not even going to see that. Mowgli's smarter than that. He knows the fact that they brought Thatcher in here means he's pretty much a moot point in terms of his capability to actively prevent that wall breach. So he'll backed away from that pretty prematurely. We still have that bit of an extension going on in the cache. So we'll see if Oxygen choose to clear that one out. If they're just going to go directly for the gym plant, which can be a bit dangerous. They don't necessarily need to take out that player in construction, but the additional pinch does give them that capability to go directly for the bedroom swing, which will be a bit safer if they have access to both of those angles. Dream note to strike first. In they go. It does look like it's going to be the gym plant when everything's said and done here. They're actually able to force a player just on the outside of those garage windows too to keep that player, or rather the construction windows, excuse me, to keep that player contained. It's going to be Rise on the other end of it now. As the overall entries are a stunning success from Oxygen. 4 kills in a row, even a 5th one, even though it's technically one of their teammates. We'll count it under these circumstances. Shika now left alone and not going to be able to take it much further either. 6 kills in a row for the OXG roster as they take a swift victory here in this round. we had a pause time come out here as well for the Wolves. They're going to take their tack. Let's go ahead and take a listen in.
Pas le même style de jeu que sur les autres maps, ok? Ils s'adaptent, ok, comme nous. Go rejouer un petit peu à la brésilienne, ok? Go essayer de reprendre un petit peu les bonnes entrées au début, etc. Go pas se chier dessus non plus dans les corners, ok? Ils sont nuls en exec, c'est vrai, mais go être aux bons endroits au bon moment. Faut vraiment qu'on soit dedans en fait, il faut vraiment qu'on sente le jeu, ok? Là il faut qu'on le sente, il faut qu'on arrête d'essayer de s'adapter sur quelque chose sur lequel ils sont en train de s'adapter, ok? Allez les gars, ouais. Ça part de là. Let's go boys.
Et gun up les gars. Basement, on peut faire la strat basement avec l'adaptation des murs, l'adaptation de l'électro, murs dans le bleu, etc. Les gars, ça ne reste pas, ok?
Carrément. On va faire ça. On va faire ça. Go faire une turtle avec l'adaptation dans les murs dans le bleu. Une fait chroming en tout cas. Et donc du coup là les gars franchement nos grosses couillasses hein. Dans les entry points et tout les gars on va les...
And as we come out of this pause, getting ourselves back into things, our observer for this matchup, Max pointed out a very good stat for this one. When you look at the kills overall for Wolves here and combine them all, I mean, just look at it right now, it's pretty drastic. Mowgli with 1, Rise with 2. That about averages out to every single player on Oxygen's individual kills currently. 3, 3, 4, 3, and 2. Dream the only one that does not match the total kill count from the Wolves right now. And to be fair, still early in the game, but at this point, we'd expect at least a little bit more fire back from them.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get feisty, right? You fought all the way down to this point. 3 quick rounds from Oxygen. If Wolves don't get an answer here, I'm really, really concerned.
Only got a 1 kill per round average as a team right now.
Well, when you put it that way, John.
As a player, that'd be good, but
that would be...
As a team,
yeah,
so much.
Right? I mean, as a player, then your Newers or Shiko. As a team, not looking too hot there. But for Wolves, I think we can get hot to trot on this round here. P4 looking for it. Be playing around main stairs as the bandit. Newers has already moved in, trying to be a bandit in his own right. Going to steal away another round from the Wolves. Fast acting as Oxygen, looking to apply so much pressure to Wolves. They don't want to let them breathe, John. Want to make sure that all of this is fast acting and they're able to lay them to bed as quickly as possible.
Newers with the pixel peek here. Try and grab anyone that wants to pop back out from the blue generator. No one obliging that though from the Wolves side of things. They've nearly do it. As Newers almost gets a snapshot out against one of the defenders here. Ultimately, nothing will come of that for the time being, though. And he'll probably continue to maintain that position in hopes of changing it a bit later on in the round. Mowgli being pressured into that back corner now. Able to delay out a little bit more of the pressure as we see the Goyo canister getting popped at this very early phase of the round. Still 2 minutes to go, so plenty of time for Oxygen to make this work. Burning out the utility this early on is already a great sign here that Oxygen is certainly keeping the heat on the Wolves, making them panic to the extent where they feel it's necessary to pop out some of these canisters and their other forms of utility.
Nothing coming from the Nitro game here on Wolves. No big pickups on the Oxygen side. If anything, it's really helping them with their case as they're looking to break up some of the verticality inside of Kitchen.
Activating Selma sequence.
Foxy going to be on to the buck here. Got that secondary hard breach, already using one of those to break open a hatch. The Selma's going down now for Dream as well, and that'll be the Kitchen hatch exposed. Some big shots, a big find from Rise here on the double stack. Able to take down Dream, and a big pickup here. But a lot of damage off onto Bibu now. Newers, he's been discovered. A swing in through. Do they recognize the push in from Oil? Mowgli will get it done. Wolves finally getting the guns hot. Looking to take this round. Sweater might finally have something though in the Oxygen camp. Big kills here. Big transfer. Nobody paying attention to the main hallway as Sweater creeps up. It is going to be all kills for Oxygen all day.
So many holes in the Wolves' basement defense. Second round in a row now. Or not in a row, but second round where a member of Oxygen has just walked right up into the site and gotten a multi-kill because someone wasn't watching a pivotal entryway. Foxy with the hold here, though. Round's not done just yet. Shinka trades it back into a 1v1 here. As now Vert put in the clutch scenario. Shinka on the other end of it. It's Vert so far with the correct read. Some support behind him as well here as he has the additional barricade. Good damage onto Shinka, but can't get the outright confirmation. He'll be given a second chance to re-peek into this one. Toxic Babe to try and force a reposition from Vert. Won't hit him, but he'll move anyway and shut down the 1v1 with ease. Another round on the board from Oxygen.
You think I'm gonna fucking shit, bro? Come on, man. Oh my god. Let's fucking go. Cornelius.
Yeah, that's a round where you just pause it right at that point where Sweater's walking up the hallway as a coach. You go, boys, what the hell is that? How? Everybody is alive. There's not a single person worried about the main hallway. Oh, they've never used that. Well, clearly.
It's not even like someone died and it's just like they couldn't patch the hole that quickly. Like you said, everyone was up. So why is there not someone watching the main hall push?
Just so unfortunate there for Wolves, especially after attack timeout. You expect them to kind of, right the ship. But no positive wins coming their way. Get the big kills, but not the big round. And Oxygen put them right back down into their hull.
Don't do it, Vert. It's not going to work.
No, Vert, we
talked about this. Oh, no.
We sent you to council
I think he's locking it.
We thought you've changed. There was rehab for this, Vert.
For anyone that didn't hear us joking about Glaz endlessly during the group stage, personally, I don't think this is the best repick. But
yeah, John is a big old hater of Glaz, but rightfully so. I'll back him up on this, so feel free to at me. Terrible operator. But 4 smokes rolling their way in here. We'll see if the Banana Hunter can get it done with this scope.
As we get ourselves into it, it is going to be a bar hold, I do believe, from the Wolves here. So that is going to potentially allow for the Glaz to actually have some better play potential going into this round. Just to actually give some analysis on this for a moment here. Just because of the open nature of the site, that's where the Glaz might actually be able to hunt down a few targets if Wolves get unfortunate in their timing for crosses. We'll see when all that comes to blows a bit later on into the round, of course, but there's a bit of an extension that needs to be cleared out first. Very much set up as if they were defending Jim, but obviously not the case because, as you can see, site's downstairs. So Oxygen still has to begin the process of clearing out the gym bedroom area as if it were the site. Wolves pretty much full commitment to that area of the map too, so this is going to be a bit of an awkward one for Oxygen to work through, mainly when you keep in mind, or especially when you keep in mind that this site is not played that often in NA.
I'm ready for Oxygen to light this candle, because all these smokes as well as the Dokkaebi here, I mean, and it looks like Fox is going to go for a hot drop with the DMR. He's going to smoke that hatch and drop right in Logi when the execute comes. So there's going to be a lot going on. Be ready for this, John. Oh, Logic Bomb.
Own call
vertical down low. Here come the smokes. Here come the plays. Here we go.
Foxy with some patience right now. He's going to wait for the distraction of the site take to deploy. Then he'll be able to safely, hopefully, get the drop back down into this hatch. Mowgli to catch the first bit of it, however. Newers goes down, but at the same time, the case successfully planted. So nothing gained, nothing truly lost here at this late phase.
He's still in the hatch?
Mm-hmm. Foxy still waiting. That's a big play that Oxygen are keeping in their pocket for when they need it, I do believe here. Sweater to be found out. Now he goes down vertical. The Glaz works. Like I said, the bigger crosses. This is the site where it's going to play out. And now Foxy commits to the drop. Ends up going over towards construction at the end of the day. Vertical claims a second on the Glaz as well here. Shinka to fire back with 1. Puts it into a 1v2. Ends Vertical's rampage for this round. Foxy with the drop, though, has control over the situation. A beautiful execute from OXG to keep things flawless in this half. All right, there we go. That glass worked.
Good shit, Vert. You went crazy, man.
I've been convinced. I finally seen it. Even they're like, look, it worked. Wow. Like, I don't even think they had faith in it. But
Oxygen bringing a strategy to bear that they didn't consider would work, according to John. The glass, though, no, definitely.
boosting my own argument.
Definitely a key portion of that, with all the smokes going out, nobody really wanting to pressure that at all. But I mean, past the glass, that was definitely the fun part of it. We really got to talk about Fox saying his
absolutely.
match. That was disgusting. The patience of a saint from that position, because I can tell you, as soon as that case went down, I'd have been in the building.
Yep.
Straight up. I'd have been right in lodge. I'd have been dead in 2 seconds. Oh my! Waiting for that penultimate point where everything was going to be mattering at its utmost. Got max value out of that position. 5 perfect rounds from Oxygen. Wolves, don't take North America here. We're just a little bit different.
All right, well, North America looking to make a statement here after they counter out that bar hold from Wolves.
They had to put the 2 NA casters on this too, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
No bias here, possibly. Maybe.
Wolves with not much of an option at the end of the day. I don't believe they ever even went to cash and CCTV this half. So they're just going to go for a 3rd attempt down into the basement instead.
Indeed.
Where, once again, Oxygen has taken it with relative ease every single time so far. Wolves, what's going to be the change-up to potentially allow for them to finally yield some success and at least give them a 5-1 scoreline?
And I hate to circle back to this point, but the last time we were here, Sweater literally walked up a hallway.
And the first time we were here, Noors walked up a hallway and got 2 kills, so...
Oh man, when you put it that way, it seems just about as bad as I thought.
We're being a bit blunt with the point here, but
I mean, the point does stand. It is screaming.
Still a pretty
at you.
sharp point, ultimately.
Yeah, indeed. It is screaming at you. It's right in your face. But I mean, Wolves, we gotta have something here. You can't go back the 3rd time and then mess it up in the same way. P4 is gonna go down to Noors. Noors, I think he just smoked him trying to move up potentially secret. I don't really know. It's going to be down a level here for sure. All the way at the back. Oh my, he got him through that top panel. That's disgusting. I love that angle on secret stairs. Something you always got to worry about, but P4, no head on his shoulders.
P4 doing some serious mental gymnastics right now, trying to figure out just how he got picked that early on. So unfortunate for him. Very nice, of course, though, for Oxygen to once again score this early on here. Finding a 5v4 just eases the kind of stress of making that descent into the basement and knowing now with full confidence that they theoretically could just throw one of their players away on entry, and as long as they get that trade back, they'll still be ahead by 1 kill. Just a process of dominoes going back and forth here, knocking them down 1 by 1. They could theoretically just win the round on that now. And they may very well do it. Vertical with the entry yet again here, finding Rise just below the kitchen hatch. Now they've got a +2 advantage.
Constantly dwindling in numbers, and Foxay on an absolute tear when it comes to this offensive side, but you could say the same about the entirety of the Oxygen roster. Looking to have a perfect half here, set themselves up for possibly the easiest defensive side they've ever had on Clubhouse. And it starts now. Dream with the plant. Nade in. They have to prevent this from happening. Dream will be forced off. Bibu with a big moment. Can he get the kill? He can, but both of his teammates are dead, and so is he. It's a perfect half from Oxygen. 9 kills for Foxay.
This is a far cry from what we've already had happen throughout the course of this series. Needing to go the full distance to find our winner. Oxygen are slapping Wolves in the face right now, not even giving them the opportunity to stand back up afterwards here. As Stokes said, the 6-0 lead established for Oxygen. Does Wolves have any fight left back in them, as they're only able to score 11 kills over the entirety of that first half?
That is very, very rough.
It's like just under 2 kills a round. So they slightly improved it from the last time we checked in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, quick math tells you 30 kills available overall, right? So only able to gather 1/3 of those.
It's crazy. How'd you do math that fast?
Addition.
That would take me like 2 minutes to do 5 times 6 on broadcasts like that.
What's 5 times 10? 21?
60.
Oh, well. It's actually 5 times 10 would be 50.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Oh no, you got me.
Yeah.
No. Usually it's me trolling John.
There's already like 3 people teeing up tweets like, blue is stupid.
Oh, well, Hopefully, Wolves are able to get away from their dumbfoundedness on the defensive end. Speaking of unintelligence so far. And honestly, it's not even been that. It's just been Oxygen constantly berating them. Like, these big kill moments Wolves have not been able to deal with. And, oh no, Newers, is he going to do it? He might fly out of this. Don't know if he had the audio on that. Might go out and check right. Bolt's flying through this now. He's got Mowgli directly to his side. Nah, he's not feeling it.
Yeah, that's too bold. He doesn't have any intel to suggest he go out for it. Like you said, I think he missed the audio cue. There was a lot of noise masking him just as Mowgli walked by, so I think he missed his opportunity there. Just unfortunate the timing doesn't pay out for Oxygen. But hey, they've had plenty of those already go their way. I'm certain they can still try to control things even without that. Basement hold obviously up on deck for Oxygen here, and the Wolves already still taking some damage, probably not from Newers, but someone ended up taking some heat there as Rise on the Buck is already down to about 1/3 of his overall health pool.
2 minutes remaining here. Wolves have got to get this pressure train on. Skeleton Key in for Rise, and gonna have the hard breach, but Selma's and Thermite coming to bear. 2 nitro cells that could potentially spell the demise of one of these hard breachers if it's placed correctly. Rise gonna continue to break up a lot of the softer structure around the kitchen area, and the Wolves will try and clean up a little bit of the utility game before progressing forward.
Newers dropped down now to about 1/3 of his HP as well. So Wolves successfully returning some damage, but none of it landing as of yet. As you can see, Newers still in a relatively safe position, tucked deep in the back of Church. Just a few little pecks going out between both teams here. Certainly see, Oxygen has been keen for the fight, looking at their health pools. Sweater, Dream, and Newers have taken a little bit from all these swings they've tried to go for, but now it's all going to come to blows here. Wolves primed for the execute, still with a minute to go on the clock as well, so plenty early on in the round here. Mowgli going to be trying to pinch things out in blue from the oil pit route, but obviously the Toxic Babe is delaying him. I imagine we're going to see another one chucked his way pretty quickly too. Never mind. Second one went out in a different part of the map, trying to deny main stairs presence instead. Foxy as well, beautifully done. No main stairs pressure from the Wolves, so he just wraps around, gets the nitro into Moto.
Oh no!
Now goes back for a second one. Foxy just can't escape him. P4 and Bibu to trade out 2. Still in it though, don't give up on him just yet. Bibu brought down low. Newers to pick up 1, that's all he'll get. As Shinka makes the push from Moto successfully to wrap around, trying to kill the half-bar player. They'll find that. Dream goes down. Wolves somehow fighting back in this one. A desperate round, but one that still might end up going their way. Vertical, though, coming forward with the denial. He'll be blinded out, won't be able to stop the plant from going down, and immediately he is locked out because of that flash timing. Shinka shuts it down, and the Wolves survive for at least one more round.
How scary was that? P4 lackadaisical on the main stairs pressure. Foxy allowed to get away with so much here. Finally, P4 gets something done in the hallway, able to assist his teammates, getting it down to the 2 versus 2. But, I mean, my God, how close does it have to be? Oxygen still with 5 opportunities to close this out. Long road ahead here for the Wolves.
Very, very long road. The most difficult one you could potentially be on, in fact. It's like a level 10 off-road trail here for Wolves. We'll see if they can make things work anyway for themselves by pulling off the full 0-6 comeback. Certainly a bit of a dream for the Wolves roster, but all the while they attempt to bring it back, Oxygen is going to be waiting in the wings with just 1 round needed. Oxygen, of course, not going to panic after losing that round. They still nearly won it. Only ended up dropping things because from the 2v2 onward, just couldn't realistically manage the gunfights, and their final player unfortunately had some very bad flash timing worked against them there that prevented the outright clutch in the 1v2. So just go for a rerun on that. Batten down some of the weak points and things in Oxygen's mind should go swimmingly now on the second attempt.
Man, Foxy 11-2-0 right now. Oxygen gonna send it back to the basement. Wolves going about things very similar fashion to what we'd seen. The Skeleton Key back for Rise. Rip up this floor. Get this hard breach dealt with. Exact same lineup practically from the Wolves. Shinka gonna be managing the Thatcher this time around. Does have the case at his disposal. Fast acting as Mowgli feels the pressure. break things down here for Secret Stairs. That's going to force Oxygen back just a tad bit. The drone will double check things and allow him the info, the benefit of knowledge to his path forward. EMP is out now. Look at the hatches here. And Wolves will make quick work of processing through these top 2 floors of Clubhouse.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Hatches have been popped. Wolves ready yet again to make their descent. Still apparently one more hatch to go though. As you see the blue one being maneuvered towards kitchen as well. So apparently still a bit more work to do. We heard them pop off a little bit earlier on, but apparently not the case. Wolves still on timer though, as far as I'm concerned. Make sure that they continue moving along with things in good fashion. Mowgli already starting to pop back down towards blue, see if he can bait out any of the presence from Oxygen, but they're not going to respond to that. They're not going to respect that. As they continue to wait things out and definitely put a lot more emphasis on the counter pressure towards the main stairs router. That's where Wolves are also throwing the heft of their weight currently.
Enemy tag Gemini.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Well, Oxygen bringing things back to what we had seen earlier in this series, where Redeemer was touching upon the fact that Wolves not too hot when it comes to these low timers. If they can keep their utility up, there's a good chance that they can take the round. We'll see if that comes to bear once again. Big shots here, big decisions to be made. Rise, a lot of damage off onto him. He knows where Dream is. Dream, though, he can't win out the fight. Another shot, though, it'll be Vertical that swings back through, and he'll be able to seal the deal, at least for Moto. Continue to apply those smokes towards the bottom of main. Legion might be an ill-advised peek here, but some warning shots, and Sweater will collect Bibu. It's the hatch player there that Sweater has to worry about. Shinka trying to work his way in. He'll be able to actually take out the blue player. P4 will go down as well. And I mean, this battle is everywhere, but it's done. Oxygen will shut down the Wolves. Fox A especially, the Predator here today.
7-1 is the final map scoreline. It was one heck of a game on our first 2 maps. Like we said, needing to go nearly the full distance to it. Ultimately, though, we saw the bounce back. Both teams taking each other's map picks away. OXG to start us off by stealing away the Wolves' pick, and Wolves respond with a bit of a surprise, too, as they were 0-2 on that map so far in this series by winning things out for the first time here on Oregon. But unfortunately, did not have the fight left in them for Clubhouse. Oxygen dominates on map number 3, and as such will be able to continue their journey in the upper bracket. Wolves, for their fans at home, mind you, they're not out yet. They're still in play here, but they have now been dropped into the lower bracket.
Yeah, going